Dr. from Jekyll Island, and now you're here, and I had no idea about this until you two just brought it up, but...
Well, my book had already been in print for 50 years, and it had millions of readers. So Griffin scored a coup d'etat by taking my book and presenting his own, and he has already built an empire about this plagiarization.
Well, you know,
people would ask why for that, and why would they be behind or sponsor all these patriots who are claiming we need to audit the Federal Reserve and we need to bring the Federal Reserve down and whatnot. What most people don't realize is that, and they've done this, all you have to know to understand what they're doing is go back in history, because they play the same thing out over and over and over again. They will bankrupt their own organization and then reorganize under a different name, and it's the same people that are pulling all the strings. So they are planning to bring the Federal Reserve down and make it crash. They themselves, capital T-H-E-Y,
right,
are planning to crash their own Federal Reserve. They will blame it on us who are crying, let's crash the Federal Reserve, and when it happens, it will make our economy 10 times worse than the crashes, the worldwide depression of the 30s, and it will change everything, change all the economy again to their hand. They come back as the heroes.
Right.
That's their thesis and antithesis. They come back with the synthesis.
Problem, reaction, solution. It's the Hegelian dialectic.
So here they create the problem, which is the Federal Reserve. Then they show everybody that the Federal Reserve is the problem, so they crash it. Then they come back with their solution, which is the same day and under same ownership, but a different vehicle. And it's the same thing with the Federal Reserve. We want to destroy the Federal Reserve, but when we do that, it's so ingrained in our economy that when we kill it, we kill our economy, and we sign our own death warrant. When the Federal Reserve goes down, there's still goes bankrupt. There are nations, Germany and China and Japan in particular, but those along with Britain own our nation, which is whenever you have a bankruptcy, everything that is in the bankruptcy, everything that's owned by the bankrupt agent goes to somebody. It goes to shareholders. And who are the shareholders? It's the people who possess the FRNs, the Federal Reserve notes.
Right.
And they are in the possession of the Chinese, the Japanese, the Germans, and the British. So they own our nation.
And then
our nation, and the labor of our own labor was the particles of the last bankruptcy, which was FDR in 1933. And we became the assurity for the bankruptcy. And our gold became the assurity for the bankruptcy, which is why we had to go off of the gold standard in 1934, and owning gold became a crime. If you own gold, then you could be fined $10,000 and incarcerated in prison in their debtor prison for 10 years, up to 10 years. So people turned in all their gold. So the gold went to England to pay off the bankruptcy. And now they are wanting to bring back, it's they who want to bring back the gold standard, because it's through gold and silver that they manipulate everything. Well, they crashed the gold standard in January of 34, through their communist agent FDR, and we're able to go strictly on paper. Well, now we're not even going by paper. We're just going by zeros in the computers.
Right.
$772 trillion are owed to China and Japan. And as they dump the Federal Reserve System, they're going to want to collect that money. And also, we abandon the use of the Federal Reserve as the world's reserve currency, and the all prices will multiply by 4 times the price of gasoline and everything else, and we will go into a permanent depression.
Or maybe 10 times.
Oh, yeah, 10 times.
So let me ask you a couple of things. One, when do you expect them to completely shut down the Federal Reserve? And two, who the hell is Ron Paul working for?
Well, Ron Paul will work for anybody who hires him. He is using my book to keep the Rothschilds in power.
He's using your book.
Yeah, my book.
Ed Griffin's.
Yeah. So
Ron Paul had every ability to use the secrets of the Federal Reserve and sponsor it. But instead, he chose the plagiarization of the John Birch Society and
kept the Rockefellers in power.